Man, when gambling goes wrong in prison, man. When gambling goes wrong in prison. Rev Mio TV, Rev Mio TV. Let me get this light out y'all face, man. I think that's a little better right there. Yeah, Rev Mio TV, man. Hey, man, young people, if you've never been to prison, if you've never been to jail, please don't go, man. If you've been, please don't go back. Hey, listen, older people, you know, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, whatever. Hey, man, we gotta mentor our youth, man. We gotta mentor them, man. Mentor them. Spend some time with them some kind of way. Sacrifice a little time, man. Pour into them. You know what I'm saying? Let's help get them people on track and keep them on track, man. And it ain't easy. It ain't easy. It ain't easy. But the outcome is worth it, man. Listen. So, look, I'm going to talk to y'all today, man, about, man, old Calvin, man. Old school Calvin, man. When I was in the state joint back in the 90s, right? It was a dude named Calvin, right? Calvin, man, had to be in his 50s. You know, he probably was 55, 57 something years old, right? And, man, we used to be gambling, right? This was before I was a preacher. Y'all know I am a real preacher, man. I spent 16 years of my life incarcerated, though. That's where I really met God at. I met God in prison. I've been walking with him ever since, you know what I'm saying? I went to the feds. I went to the state joint back in the 90s, and I went to the feds 2004 to 2017. So I had, you know, that's when I met the Lord. So listen, man, we was gambling, man. This back in my rattlesnake days, man. And so dude losing off the rip. We skinning, man. Anybody know something about Georgia skin, man? We skinning. Oh, so another thing, man. I'm thinking about starting to do a live every week, once a week at least. You know what I'm saying? To start off. Y'all let me know in the comments, man. Let me know in the comments, man. Y'all want to see a brother do a live, man. I got many topics I can talk about, you know, because you know, I can talk about the street stuff because I did live that. I can talk about the church and God because that's my life now. I can talk about the mentoring the kids and stuff because that's part of what I do. You know what I'm saying? So it's a bunch of broad topics that we can talk about. And y'all know I got something else I'm trying to bring to social media too. But we got to get the subscriptions up or else it don't really make sense for me to do it that way. You know what I'm saying? So let's keep on sharing these videos. Like the videos and comment, man. Comment and like the videos because that matters to YouTube, to the numbers, to the algorithm, because then they see feedback. You know what I'm saying? And when that computer system see feedback, then it'll pump my videos more. So go back through all my videos, man. Make a comment, like the video or whatever, and you know, let's dialogue. That's what I'm looking for. It see dialogue in the computer for the YouTube computer, and it'll push my videos more. So listen, man. So old school Calvin, man. We gambling. I'm in my 20s at the time. I'm like, you know, early 20s, man. I'm like 22 years old or something, right? And we gambling, man. And it's a good skin game going. Good skin game going, man. And the dude losing off the rip, though. Calvin losing off the rip. If anybody know anything about Georgia skin, listen, man. A good skin game, man. That's one of the fastest ways to come up, to make some money. But it's also one of the fastest ways to lose your money, man. So we skinning, man. We skinning. It's a good game going on, too, man. You know? So I mean, man, we probably got, you know what I'm saying, probably about 10 people around the table at a time. I think there used to be maybe the limit that we used to do at that particular spot, because the rules can vary among the participants, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. I think the limit we used to do might have been 10 people, you know what I'm saying, to pull a card. So we full. Bum. Dude coming off the rip, man. He falling out the box off the rip, man. So, man, good game going. Mess around, you know what I'm saying? Couple people winning. I used to have some lucky streaks, man, you know what I'm saying? And I'm winning. So I'm one of the ones that's winning. So, you know, you got a few people losing. You got a couple people that's winning. You know, you got a couple people that might be kind of like breaking even a little bit. But you always, usually you're going to have one or two big losers. But Kelvin is the big loser this time. He the big loser, right? So, old Kelvin, man, he was dark, burnt black dude. He had some gray, he had waves in his head, right? They were gray, you know what I mean? But he was a cool dude, you know what I'm saying? He used to brush his hair to the side. I remember, had a part going, you know how somebody brushed their hair to the side and they got that part going down, you know what I'm saying? Like right here in the head or something like that. Got a part going right there. That was Kelvin, man. He used to brush his hair. He used to brush his hair like this here to the side like this and brush this side down like that right there. So he had a part right there, right? So, and his hair was gray. So anyway, man, so we over there gambling, man, Kelvin losing. So after, you know, all of a sudden, he go back to his room. He gets some more stuff to put in the pot. And if anybody know about prison gambling, now I have seen some cash games, but this wasn't no cash game. And just about all the time, most of the time it's not gonna be a cash game. But I have seen sometimes where it's been a cash game in prison. This not one of those times. So the normal way of gambling in prison is you gonna go get your items, your store good items, your cookies, your coffee, your honey buns, your cigarettes. At this time, we still had cigarettes in the prison at this particular time. Now you don't have cigarettes in prison no more, but we still had cigarettes back then. So so you gonna go get your items, and then the man that's running the pot, you know what I'm saying, he gonna give you some chips, like some gambling chips. The gambling chips will be made up out of old decks of cards or whatever. They mark them a certain way so it'll be hard for you to duplicate them and put some, you know what I'm saying, some fake chips in the game, something like that. People used to try that. People used to get away with it sometimes. Sometimes they did, sometimes they didn't. Most of the time they didn't, because the chips would be marked a certain way or whatever. And you know what I'm saying? So anyway, so Kelvin, all of a sudden, he running back and forth to his room. He'll come out of there with some more stuff. He'll come out of there with some more stuff. Kelvin used to have a little money coming in, man. He used to have a little money coming in. He, you know what I'm saying, he wasn't one of them dudes that was poor and broke in prison. He was one of the dudes that was doing, you know what I'm saying, kind of all right for himself. You know, I remember he used to get like a lot of visits and stuff. I don't know if it was his wife coming or a couple of girlfriends or whatever the case, but he used to get a lot of visits, you know what I'm saying? And so, you know, he used to always go to the commissary and stuff like that. So he going back and forth to his room. So after a while, all of a sudden, he started borrowing money across the table. When you borrowing money across the table, you know, you asking somebody, hey man, shoot me $20, man, you know, shoot me $50, or you know. So he started doing that. So he get a couple of loans across the table. Couldn't pay him. No, I mean, he lose those. He lose, right? So he keep losing. So then he asked me to borrow something, right? I said, man, I got to pay some folk back. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm seeing something wrong with the picture, because you was going back and forth to your room, getting more cookies and more coffee and more cigarettes and bringing them and putting them in the pot, in the kitty. But all of a sudden now, you borrowing across the table. So I saw something wrong with that. Plus me and him, you know what I'm saying, we wasn't like, you know, just cool like that anyway, right? So I said, man, I got some folk I got to pay back, man. You know what I'm saying? I need all this. You know what I'm saying? So I remember I left the table for a minute and I took some chips to my room and I put some chips in my room. You know what I'm saying? Which usually if I was up pretty good, that's what I would do. I'd take some chips and I cuff them, you know what I'm saying? I hide them, so that way, whatever I'm gambling with now, if I win some more, cool. If I lose the chips that I'm at the table with now, I'm good, because I already done won. I got my chips in the room, some my gambling chips. So that's what I did. I took some chips to the room. I came back, and so I'm still gambling, right? Well, all of a sudden, Kelvin started borrowing from the dealer, you know what I'm saying? just say the house man. He started borrowing from the house man, right? So he tell the house man, he said, look, go on and give me, you know what I'm saying, I think he said either it was $100 or $150. You know what I'm saying? So house man look at him and say, all right, man, if you lose it, when you gonna be able to pay it back? So he said, man, come on, man. Well, you know I'm going to the store, man. You know what I'm saying? Blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? So, you know, I got you. So he said, matter of fact, you know, give me this right here, and I'm gonna go ahead and pay back these two bets, these couple of bets that I got across the table. I'm gonna pay them back now. So I just owe you. So that's what he do. So he get some chips from the house man. So now the house man is responsible for putting whatever in the pot that Calvin can't pay. You know what I'm saying? So Calvin takes some of the chips from the house man, and he pay his couple of bets that he done got from across the table. He pay them dudes off real quick. He pay them off, right? He mess around and lose these chips though. So he's still losing. You know what I mean? Calvin's still losing, man. I'm still winning. You know what I'm saying? One or two other people still winning. You know what I mean? You got, you know, a few other people, they hanging on. They going back and forth. So all of a sudden now, Calvin done lost them chips. He said, man, he said, hit me again, man. Know what I'm saying? I remember him saying this would be 200 or either this would be 250. One of them, he said, man, this will make it 200 or this will make it 250. Just go on and hit me with this right here. You know what I'm saying? This will be it. You know what I'm saying? I got you. You know what I'm saying? So he, you know what I mean? But again, the chips. He giving them chips, and man, so he go back to gambling. You know what I'm saying? So we still gambling. You know what I'm saying? He fighting for a little while with them chips. You know what I mean? Boy, it just ain't his day. Mess around, but he done lost all them chips. So all of a sudden he down $200 something. I don't know if it was 200 or 250. So let's just say 200. You know what I'm saying? So all of a sudden he down $200 now. Man, in prison, $200 is a lot of money, man. In the real world, $200 ain't really nothing. You know what I'm saying? That can barely pay a electric bill, $200. But in prison, boy, that's a lot of money, boy. Especially back then in the 90s, that's a lot of money, man. You understand? So listen, he done lost that. So now Calvin owe this man $200. So, okay, the gambling game go on. Calvin ain't in the game no more. I see him going around the dorm. You know, I see him, you know what I'm saying, pulling up on a couple people, you know what I'm saying, and obviously he asking them for money. So I see one dude, you know, doing like this, like man, you know what I'm saying, I can't help you, you know what I'm saying, I ain't got nothing for you right now, whatever. So mess around, the game end, and you know, we count our chips up. You know what I'm saying? I go to my room, I get my gambling chips, bring them back. So you count all your chips up, and they stack all these store good items, all these cigarettes, all these cookies, all these pies, all the potato chips, all these stuff. They stack them up, and you use your chips to buy this stuff. You know what I'm saying? You get your stuff back that you put in the game, and then everybody take turn getting their stuff, and then you get a few more items. This person get a few more items anyway, so you get your stuff. So I remember, man, I had a whole lot of stuff. So I got my roommate Snake over there. Hey, Snake. So as I'm getting stuff, I got Snake taking it to the room. Hey, Snake, take this to the room for me. So he getting stuff, taking it to the room, right? So the game end. So a few days go by, and it's, you know what I'm saying, people going to the store, going to the commissary, right? So Calvin mess around, go to the commissary, and he come back with an empty bag. The man come back with an empty bag, man. All the man had in his bag was like a few packs of cigarettes. It was like something like a few packs. It might have been like 2 or 3 packs of cigarettes. That's it, right? So when he come back, I see him, you know what I'm saying, go over there to to the dude he owed the $200 to. I forget his name. You know what I'm saying? I see him go over there to dude, right? He a black dude too. He a little younger, you know what I'm saying? He probably in his 30s. And, you know, I see them talking for a minute, and you can tell dude body language. He like, man, he doing stuff like this, like making, gestures like, you know what I'm saying? He doing like this or whatever. So I see Calvin, I was trying, he trying to hand him the 2-3 little packs of cigarettes he got from the commissary or whatever. So dude like, man, I can't tell what they saying because they all the way across the dorm, you know what I'm saying, from me. So anyway, they walk away. You know what I'm saying? They walk away. The dude took the little 2-3 packs of cigarettes or whatever, you know what I mean? And so as they walking off, I just see dude, he just like, you know what I'm saying? Like, obviously he mad, he upset. And Calvin, you know what I'm saying? Like, he like, dang, he got to figure something out. Cause dude ain't finna go for him not paying him, you know what I'm saying, what he owe him or whatever. So then, word starts circulating, you know what I'm saying, kind of talking about what's going on. And so people start saying, boy, that girl done left Calvin or something like that, man. That girl ain't sending that money no more. That girl ain't sending no money no more. Man, that girl done left Calvin or something like that, right? So, they like, boy, old boy want his money though. He want his money. So, whatever Calvin had told him, you know what I'm saying, it put him off for like a week. The next week come, and Calvin go to dude, and he tell the dude, he said, man, my money on hold. See, back then, you didn't have all this stuff where you get money instantly. You didn't have, you know what I'm saying, where you can just call somebody, hey, put this money on there, blah, blah, blah. And you go back and you check the computer and the money on there. It wasn't like that. No. Back then, you had to get that money mailed in. That money had to be mailed in to the prison. And then the prison would put that money on your account. This was in the days of checks and stuff like that, man. This wasn't no Cash App type of systems going on back then. It wasn't none of that stuff. Social media didn't exist back then. So he go over there to dude, he pull up on dude while he's sitting there watching TV in the TV room. Now, the TV room was kind of small. You got a big open dorm TV room we had, and then the sports TV, which I'm talking about, the sports TV, that one was smaller. So he come up in there, he tell dude, hey, let me holler at you real quick. You know what I'm saying? Hey, let me holler at you real quick. So he trying to pull a dude out of the sports TV room, and he go back out the door. So he waiting on dude to come out there and holler at him. So dude inside the door, they can see each other through the glass. So dude like, man, come on back in here and holler at me then. You know what I'm saying? So Calvin like, come on, he trying to get him to come out there and holler at him because he don't want everybody to hear what he got to say. So dude like, man, come on in here. So Calvin pushed the door back open, cracked the door open. He said, man, come holler at me real quick. So dude like, man, come in here and holler at me, man. I ain't finna move. Come in here and holler at me. So Calvin come over there and he tell the dude, he said, man, my money done been mailed to me, man, but it just got mailed yesterday, man. I don't think it's here yet or whatever, blah, blah. I don't think it's here yet. You know what I'm saying? So dude like, man, get my money, man. I'm telling you, man, get my money. So dude done stood up. He say, hey, man, get my money, man. Get my money. I don't care what you got to do. You better get my money today, right? So Calvin walk off. He walk off. He leave out the TV room. And so he ended up, you know what I'm saying, when the doors swung open to go outside, Calvin take off, and so he ended up going to the ticket man. So the ticket man was in a different dorm. So he go to the ticket man, and he done talk the ticket man out of some money. He done talk the ticket man out of some money, man. Ticket man about his age, you know what I'm saying? He done talk the ticket man out of some money, man. He a black dude too. He go to ticket man done broke him off. So he come back, you know what I'm saying, a little later on, and he straightened the debt out with the dude who he owed from the gambling table, from the gambling game, right? He straightened the debt out, but now he owed the ticket man, right? So the same thing goes on. The next week, he go to the commissary and he come back, he ain't got nothing. So he ain't got no money. You know what I'm saying? So now he go over there to the ticket man and he telling the ticket man, hey man, my money didn't come through, blah, 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 blah. So ticket man like, hey man, I ain't finna play these kind of games with you, man. You know, blah, blah, you know what I'm saying? This, that, and the other. Da, 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 da. So I remember, like the next day after that, after he done went to the commissary and he ain't get nothing, we on the rec yard, right? So Calvin come out there to the rec yard. The ticket man out there on the rec yard, right? And so we watching a basketball game. They out there playing basketball, you know, whatever. So ticket man called Calvin over there. He said, hey, Calvin, come here, man. Let me holler at you, man. So he kind of pulled him to the side, but he ain't pull him that far to the side. You know what I mean? We could kind of still hear what they talking about. So Calvin like, man, the money, I'm telling you, man, I'm gonna have the money, man. I'm gonna have the money, you know, blah, blah, blah. So ticket man like, okay, man, don't play with my money, man. I'm telling you, man, don't play with my money. You know what I'm saying? Man, listen, man. So the next week go by. Come to the next week. Man, Calvin come talking about he ain't got all the money. Now, he went to the commissary and he got some stuff. But, man, he probably came from that commissary about $20 worth of stuff, man. You know what I mean? So he owed this man, I think the dude had put some interest on it, too. So he owed the man at least $200, but I think he had put some interest on it. So he might owe the man about $250 by now. He come back with about $20 worth of stuff. So he take it over there, get a dude. So he thinking, you know what I'm saying, that, okay, he gonna be all right for the next week or whatever. I don't know what he really thinking for real. But he done put the hit on him. He put the hit on Calvin, right? Man, we go, you know what I'm saying, we in our dorm, and, you know what I'm saying, the day go by, we come out the next day. I'm in my bed sleep the next day because my work detail was so-called overnight. Well, I only worked like an hour and a half after everybody else done locked down. It was like me and probably about 3 other inmates. We would work the little dorm cleanup overnight or whatever. So we could stay in the bed the next morning. We could stay in the bed all the way to lunchtime. So I'm in the bed the next day, right? So, man, all of a sudden, I hear the doggone police. I hear commotion, you know what I'm saying? So my roommate Snake standing in the door. So as I'm, you know what I'm saying, rolling over, I'm like, Snake, man, what's going on? What they doing, Snake? What's all that noise? He said, boy, the goon squad, boy, they done come here, boy. He said, boy, ticket man to put a hit on Calvin, boy. He done sent them young boys at him. Man, them young boys done ran in there, man, and done punished him. They beat the brakes off of him. They didn't stab him, but they beat the brakes off of Calvin, man. They beat the brakes off of old school, man. Them young boys and went in there and beat the brakes off of him, man. So it about 4 of them. They done ran in there, man, and beat the brakes off of Calvin, man. They left him in there blooded, beat down, blooded. I'm talking about they bust him up good. They bust him up, man. So they come in there, man, and they trying to help Calvin out. And come to find out, they had him broke some of his ribs. You know what I'm saying? They was in there kicking him and stomping him and all this stuff, man. And so they had him broke some of his ribs and stuff. And so he couldn't even hardly breathe. And I remember him saying, you know what I'm saying, because I got up, you know what I'm saying, looked out the little window on the door in the room, you know what I'm saying? And so I looked out there and see the police out there, man, and they out there trying to help him walk. And I remember him saying, I can't breathe. You know what I'm saying? I can't hardly breathe. And so I remember they sat him down at the table, you know, one of the little tables we used to sit and play cards and stuff like that. They sat him down at one of the tables right there. And so then they waited on the stretcher to come. They waited on the stretcher to come. They rolled the stretcher in. They put him up on the stretcher. You know what I'm saying? They put him on the stretcher and they rolled him on up out of there. You know what I mean? He was blooded up, man. The man was blooded up. So then what ended up happening is Calvin ended up not coming back to the compound. And he ended up telling the folks, man, he don't want to come back. You know what I'm saying? They can ship him or keep him in the hole. He didn't want to come back. So he ain't come back to the compound. But that was the price he paid for gambling in prison and owing them folks that money. And he got that hit put on him. You know what I'm saying? But that was just one time, man. where gambling went seriously wrong in prison, man. They beat the brakes off old Calvin, man. And Calvin didn't come back to the compound. They busted him up. They busted him up real good. Young people, stay out of trouble, stay out of jail, stay out of prison. If you never been, please don't go. If you been, please don't go back. All right, man, share this video with at least 3 people. Let's help get them numbers up, man. And y'all let me know if y'all want me to start doing a live, man. All right, y'all be blessed, man. Rev Mio TV.